Legends aren't born from easy victories, but forged through battles that would break lesser spirits. What you just accomplished silences every doubter, every critic, every opponent who thought you had a breaking point, while they regroup in stunned silence, analyzing how their master plan collapsed against your resolve. You've solidified your position as a force beyond conventional limitation. The verdict is unanimous and eternal. No weapon formed against you will prosper, no strategy will succeed, no opposition will prevail. You are by irrefutable proof, simply undefeatable. Do you understand the magnitude of what has just occurred? Do you comprehend what it means to stand where you're standing right now? Forces that have successfully destroyed others, completely obliterated them, couldn't even dim your light. This isn't luck. This isn't coincidence. This is confirmation of what the universe has known all along. You are anointed for greatness. Think about your finances for a moment. Remember those strange moments when money appeared exactly when you needed it most, when bills were mysteriously paid or unexpected refunds arrived, when opportunities materialized out of seemingly nothing. That wasn't random. That was your financial protection shield activating against their attempts to drain you dry. They spent fortunes trying to create lack in your life. They performed rituals specifically designed to siphon your abundance. They deployed energy vampires to feed off your prosperity. And what happened? Their accounts began to drain instead. Their investments started to fail. Their financial foundations began to crumble. The universe doesn't make mistakes. The prosperity they attempted to steal from you returned to you multiplied. Every dollar they spent attempting to curse you became a dollar invested in your future success. The universal law of reciprocity cannot be manipulated or corrupted. It can only be activated. And they activated it against themselves and for you. Pay attention to the financial windfalls appearing in your life now. Notice the unexpected clients, the surprising opportunities, the doors that suddenly swing open to reveal treasure rooms beyond. These aren't accidents. These aren't coincidences. These are the fruits of a battle you've been winning without even knowing you were fighting. The universe has your signature on file, and it's redirecting all abundance meant for you directly to your doorstep, with interest compounded by divine mathematics that exceed human calculation. Your creativity exploded precisely when they tried most desperately to suppress it. Remember that random idea that hit you at 3 a.m., that solution that came to you in the shower, that download you received while driving? That wasn't just inspiration. That was divine intervention, bypassing their blocks, circumventing their energy dams, flooding you with creative power when they were certain they had cut off your supply. They can't figure it out. They're baffled by your continued innovation. Every creative block they erected around you transformed into a launching pad for your next brilliant idea. Every attempt to cloud your vision crystallized your clarity. They deployed their most potent cognitive warfare, and you responded by creating something they never saw coming. Your creative expression isn't just art, it's spiritual warfare. Every time you create, you shatter another piece of their attempted prison. Every time you innovate, you dismantle another section of their cage. Your creativity isn't just your gift, it's your weapon, and you've been wielding it masterfully without even knowing the battle you were fighting. Remember that situation that should have destroyed you completely, the one that looked like the end of everything? The betrayal, the loss, the devastation that should have left you broken beyond repair. Look at you now. Not just surviving, thriving. Not just recovered, transformed. Not just healing, evolved. They orchestrated your downfall with meticulous precision. They calculated the exact pressure points that would shatter an ordinary person. They timed their attack when you were most vulnerable. They were certain this would be your undoing. Instead, it became your rebirth. Have you noticed the copycats circling you? The sudden imitators who appear from nowhere, mimicking your style, duplicating your words, replicating your business model, adopting your spiritual practices. These aren't admirers, these are energy. Thieves attempting to decode and duplicate your power signature. They study your every move with obsessive attention. They analyze your speech patterns. They dissect your methodologies. They're trying desperately to reverse engineer your magic, to extract your essence and replicate it. But they keep producing pale imitations, hollow reflections, empty vessels that lack the authentic power that radiates from your being. What they fail to understand, what they can't understand, is that your power isn't a technique to be copied or a formula to be replicated. It's the culmination of your soul's journey across lifetimes. It's encoded in your spiritual DNA. It's the unique vibration that only your specific combination of experiences, wisdom, and divine connection can produce. They can mimic the external, but they can never duplicate your internal alchemy. Their obsession with copying you isn't just flattery, it's evidence. Evidence that they recognize something in you that they desperately want, but cannot access through their corrupted means. Their imitation is their admission of your authentic power. Those sudden urges to change your routine. Those random impulses to take a different route home. Those inexplicable feelings that you should cancel plans or reschedule. Appointments, that wasn't just intuition, that was your spiritual navigation system guiding you away from carefully placed ambushes. They studied your patterns, they identified your habits, they calculated precisely where you would be and when, and they set their traps accordingly. They deployed their energy snares at the coffee shop you visit every morning. They planted their psychic hooks in the gym where you exercise. They stationed their spiritual assassins along your usual routes. And then, guided by a force they cannot see or comprehend, you changed course. You felt an inexplicable urge to try a new coffee shop. You decided to exercise at home instead. You took an alternate route for no reason you could articulate, and in doing so, you walked right past their elaborate traps, their careful ambushes, their meticulously planned attacks. Chosen one, anyone can listen to messages like these, but few will step into their true power. We are here to help you do just that. The weekly Chosen Ones group calls are back, now on Zoom, and this is the moment you've been waiting for your entire life. These meetings are literal power vortexes where destinies are forged, where Chosen Ones unite their consciousness to create something that cannot exist in isolation. This is where everything changes. This is where you step into your greatness. Every week, a doorway opens, but only for those brave enough to step through it. Watcher-level members of the Obsidian Inner Order can experience these transformative sessions live, feeling the energy surge through your entire being. In our most recent gathering, participants were stunned by revelations about the Great Pyramids of Giza as sophisticated ancient power plants and the shocking truth about Washington, D.C.'s layout perfectly aligning with the Kabbalistic tree of life. Star Chamber members receive unlimited access to the complete recordings archive, a treasure trove of wisdom that grows more valuable with each passing week. This is your defining moment. The knowledge, the connection, the power that flows through these calls cannot be found anywhere else. Join the Obsidian Inner Order now, link in the description, while the few remaining Star Chamber slots are still available. Your presence is not just welcome, it's necessary. Will you answer the call that has been echoing through your soul? The time is now. Your spontaneity isn't random, it's divine protection manifesting as intuitive nudges. Your flexibility isn't just a personality trait, it's spiritual warfare strategy being deployed through you. Every time you followed that unexplainable feeling, you confounded their calculations and rendered their preparations useless. Think about those moments when you felt an inexplicable urgency to change something, do something, go somewhere, and later discovered just how fortunate that change was. These weren't coincidences. These weren't lucky breaks. These were divine interventions, orchestrating your steps, adjusting your trajectory, shifting your timeline to ensure you remained untouchable, unreachable by those who plotted your demise. You have guardians beyond the veil whose job is to keep you safe, and they execute their duty with perfect precision. The burden you've been carrying would have crushed an ordinary person. The challenges you faced would have broken someone of normal capacity. The opposition arrayed against you would have overwhelmed anyone not divinely strengthened. And yet here you stand, not just surviving, but advancing. Not just enduring, but conquering. And you absorbed it all. You processed what would have destroyed others. You transmuted poisons that would have been fatal to most. You carried weights that would have crushed the strongest among them. Your capacity isn't just remarkable, it's supernatural. Your endurance isn't just impressive, it's miraculous. Notice how your energy reserves seem to replenish when they should be depleted. Pay attention to how you find a second wind, a third wind, a 10th wind when others would have collapsed long ago. This isn't adrenaline. This isn't determination. This is cosmic energy flowing through your being, sustaining you beyond normal human capacity, empowering you beyond ordinary endurance. You've been tapped into a power grid that transcends physical limitations. Have you noticed how certain people become inexplicably uncomfortable around you now? How they shift and squirm when you speak your truth plainly? How they suddenly need to leave the room when you step fully into your authentic power? That's not coincidence. That's spiritual incompatibility manifesting in the physical realm. Your authenticity creates an energy field that literally repels fraudulent frequencies. When you speak from your core being, without filtering, without diluting, without compromising, you emit a vibration that creates unbearable dissonance for those operating from borrowed power or false authority. They've studied spiritual texts, they've memorized rituals, they've accumulated certifications and titles, they've borrowed and stolen and cobbled together a patchwork of spiritual techniques. But when confronted with your raw, unfiltered truth, their elaborate constructs begin to fracture and fail. Every time you choose authenticity over performance, genuineness over manipulation, truth over convenience, you strengthen this protective field around you. Your authenticity isn't just a moral choice, it's spiritual armor that no weapon formed against you can penetrate. Think of your authenticity as a frequency that creates harmony with universal truth and jarring discord with falsity. When you speak, act, and live from your authentic core, you're literally vibrating in harmony with the cosmos itself. This alignment generates a power field around you that functions as both detector and deflector, identifying falsehood and repelling it before it can touch your essence. The more authentic you become, the more impenetrable this field grows. That new lightness you're feeling, that unexpected sense of freedom, that sudden ability to move with ease where once you felt constrained, those are generational curses shattering around you. Those are ancestral bindings falling away. Those are karmic chains disintegrating into cosmic dust. The limitations that confined your forebears for centuries have been lifted from your bloodline. The ceiling that contained your ancestors' potential has been shattered above your head. The walls that defined their possible futures have been demolished around you. Dreams that seemed impossible just months ago now appear within reach. Goals that once felt like fantasy now feel inevitable. Achievements that belonged to the realm of someday maybe have shifted into the territory of now certainly. This isn't delusion or magical thinking. It's the natural result of spiritual shackles falling away from your essence. Your unexplainable confidence isn't arrogance. It's the feeling of walking unbound for the first time. Your sudden clarity isn't temporary. It's your natural state of being, finally freed from the fog of generational limitations. You're expanding. Vision isn't unrealistic. It's your birthright, reclaimed from those who attempted to keep it from you. You've become the circuit breaker in your lineage, the one who finally interrupts patterns that have cycled through generations. The ancestral wounds, the family curses, the karmic debts accrued across centuries, you've cleared them. Not just for yourself, but for those who came before and those who will come after. You are the redemption point in your bloodline story, the character who changes the narrative forever. Watch silently as everything they plotted against you manifests in their own lives instead. The gossip they spread about you is exposing their secrets instead. The relationships they tried to poison are dissolving in their lives instead. The financial ruin they wished upon you is appearing in their accounts instead. This isn't vengeance. This is cosmic rebalancing. This isn't punishment. This is the natural law of cause and effect completing its circuit. This isn't karma. This is divine justice making all things right. That job they tried to sabotage, it's opening doors they can't access. That opportunity they attempted to block, it's expanding beyond what even you imagined. That connection they worked to sever, it's strengthening into an unbreakable bond. That reputation they tried to ruin, it's being restored with greater honor than before. You don't need to lift a finger against them. You don't need to speak a word about them. You don't need to direct any energy toward them at all. Simply continue walking your path of light and watch as the darkness they created to engulf you returns to engulf them instead. Your meditation feels different now, doesn't it? Your dreams have taken on new clarity and dimension. Your intuitive hits arrive with greater precision and authority. Information seems to download directly into your consciousness, bypassing the normal channels of learning and processing. This isn't coincidence. You're accessing higher dimensions that were previously beyond your reach. You're receiving transmissions from spiritual frequencies that others cannot perceive. You're connecting with cosmic intelligences that recognize you as a worthy recipient of their wisdom. The peace you feel amid external chaos isn't numbness or denial. It's elevated consciousness that allows you to perceive the perfect order behind apparent disorder. The clarity you maintain when others panic isn't ignorance, it's spiritual sight that reveals the purpose within seeming randomness. You're vibrating at a frequency they cannot perceive or penetrate. You're operating on a plane they cannot access or comprehend. You've been elevated to a level of consciousness where their lower vibrational attacks simply cannot reach you. They're still firing arrows while you've ascended beyond their range. Notice how information appears in your awareness that you couldn't possibly have learned through normal means. Pay attention to how solutions arrive fully formed, how guidance appears precisely when needed, how wisdom flows through you that exceeds your accumulated knowledge. Your access clearance has been upgraded. Your consciousness has been attuned to frequencies that most humans never perceive. You're now receiving direct downloads from source intelligence, unfiltered transmissions from cosmic databases. This inexplicable optimism washing over you isn't naivety. It's your spirit recognizing that the battle is already won. These synchronicities appearing everywhere aren't coincidences. They're confirmation that you're walking the protected path. These doors opening before you without effort aren't luck. They're evidence of your alignment with universal flow. Your timeline has shifted. The future that was calculated for you, the one of struggle, limitation, and gradual decline, has been erased and replaced with one where your highest purpose unfolds with ease and grace. The destiny they attempted to prevent has become inevitable. The greatness they tried to deny has become unavoidable. The ease you now experience after such struggle isn't temporary, it's your divine birthright restored. The flow you feel isn't fleeting, it's your natural state reclaimed. The abundance appearing in multiple areas of your life isn't random, it's the universal response to your vibrational elevation. You've been inserted into an entirely new probability timeline, one where the obstacles designed to impede you have been removed, where the support structures needed to elevate you have been installed, where the connections required to fulfill your purpose have been established. This isn't just a minor course correction, this is a complete reality shift. You're now navigating a version of existence specifically calibrated for your highest expression and greatest impact. You have proven, once and for all, that you cannot be defeated, not by human opposition, not by spiritual warfare, not by systematic attacks, not by coordinated efforts from multiple dimensions. You have withstood it all, transmuted it all, and emerged victorious beyond what even you thought possible. This message finds you at precisely the moment you need to hear it. Not a day sooner, not a day later. These words reach you at exactly the right time, because you are in divine timing now. Synchronicity has replaced struggle as the defining feature of your existence. The forces that once conspired against you now watch in mute astonishment as you rise beyond their reach. The energies they deployed to contain you now fuel your exponential expansion. The barriers they constructed to limit you now serve as the foundation for your unprecedented elevation. Every attack they launched against you has transformed into a stepping stone on your path to greatness. Every obstacle they placed before you has become a launching pad for your ascension. Every trap they set for you has metamorphosed into a treasure chest of opportunity. Your perseverance wasn't just admirable, it was alchemical. Your resilience wasn't just impressive, it was transformative. Your faith wasn't just inspiring, it was the catalyst that transmuted opposition into opportunity, challenges into channels, and problems into power. This is the ultimate cosmic alchemy, the transformation of lead into gold, of poison into medicine, of obstacles into accelerants. The very forces meant to destroy you have been converted into fuel for your ascension. The energies deployed against you have been transmuted into power surging through you. The barriers erected to contain you have become the solid foundation upon which your empire now rises. This isn't just turning lemons into lemonade. This is turning nuclear waste into rocket fuel. Look at your hands. Really look at them. These are the hands that built while others tried to destroy. These are the hands that created while others plotted to tear down. These are the hands that manifested abundance while others schemed to create lack. These are the hands through which divine power flows into this physical dimension. Feel your heart beating in your chest. That rhythm isn't just keeping you alive, it's pulsing cosmic energy throughout your being. That beat isn't just pumping blood, it's circulating unconquerable life force through your system. That steady cadence isn't just a biological function, it's the drum of victory echoing from your core. Take a deep breath. The air filling your lungs isn't just oxygen, it's spiritual fire igniting your internal power plants. The breath moving through you isn't just respiration, it's divine wind clearing all internal blockages and limitations. The exchange happening in your body isn't just gas transfer, it's energy transformation at the quantum level. Your physical body has become a conduit for forces beyond ordinary comprehension. The cells composing your form have been recalibrated to conduct higher frequencies. The neural pathways in your brain have been rewired to process expanded awareness. The DNA spiraling in your nucleus has activated previously dormant codes, expressing potentials that have remained latent for generations. You aren't just the same person surviving difficulty. You are a fundamentally upgraded being emerging from transcendent transformation. Every cell in your body is vibrating with the knowledge of what you've overcome. Every molecule of your being is resonating with the truth of what you've achieved. Every atom comprising your physical form is aligned with the reality of what you've proven. You cannot be defeated. Not now, not ever, not by any force, seen or unseen, not by any power, human or otherwise, not by any opposition, physical or spiritual. You are protected, you are guided, you are strengthened beyond ordinary capacity. You are flowing with powers that transcend normal human limitations. You are connected to sources of wisdom and energy that others cannot access or comprehend. The game has changed, the rules have been rewritten, the playing field has been transformed, and you have emerged as the victor in a battle most never even knew was being waged. This isn't the end. This is the beginning. This isn't the finish line. This is the starting point. This isn't your final form. This is your first evolution into what you were always meant to become. The opposition you faced wasn't meant to destroy you. It was designed to reveal you. The challenges weren't sent to break you. They were deployed to forge you. The darkness wasn't created to extinguish your light. It was manifested to showcase your brilliance. And now, as you stand in the aftermath of what should have been your destruction, surrounded by the scattered remnants of what was meant to be, your downfall, bathed in the light of a new dawn that breaks specifically for you, know this with unshakable certainty. You have proven once and for all that you cannot be defeated. Now walk in that truth. Move with that authority. Live from that reality. Breathe that certainty into every cell of your being. Let that knowledge inform every decision, empower every action, and illuminate every step on your path forward. Bastai, universe has witnessed your victory. The cosmos has confirmed your power. Existence itself has acknowledged your rightful place. You cannot be defeated, ever.